All right, so for today, we're going to do a few things. First is we're going to increase the lightness back in the sky. So here I have added white to brighten this area of the sky up. We want that to be really light. Double check your gradient that goes from light to dark here. Think about the edges of the trees, that it's not just a straight line, but it kind of moves and bends. So those are some things to be checking for this area back here. Down here, we want this to be dark back here. So I used the dark green right here that I mixed, so the dark blue green. So blue, green, and black I used to mix this color. Mix that with some white and darken that up back there. And that started to create some of this hill. I, at various points, unsaturated green by mixing some of this orange with it. That worked really well. This is kind of a red orange that I have. So you can take a look at my palette and see kind of some of the progressions of the colors that I mixed. And you can see I'm mixing with the brush. I've got my huge dollops of the paint that I mixed that's not gonna dry because it's all in one little kind of dollop there. But then I also mix colors with my brush itself. Everything that I did today, I did with the small flat brush. So this is a number 10 flat brush or a 1/4 inch flat brush. If you want to use a filbert, you can use your small filbert, but at this point we're doing small marks, so to like touch up some of the detail things. So those are kind of the first steps, is to do that. I then want to make sure that this goes from light until dark and have all sorts of different variations of unsaturated colors in the back. And then there's little pops of some saturated. I've got a little like bright turquoise in here. So this camera doesn't do justice to what all the colors that actually are visible here. So at some point today, come up here and actually physically look at this piece. I then started to work with the orange and yellow. So I'm adding in orange and white. I'm adding layers of orange on top, red, cream, like this peach color, and then starting to add in some of the golden that's gonna appear in the trees up here. So here's some of this color starting to form, and you can see how I'm starting to get some of that placement with the purple down here and red violet, the red in here. So just look at this and kind of color match a little bit and see where some of those things lie. This bright red I don't have in here yet. I'm probably gonna add that a little bit later, or maybe I'm gonna move it over a little bit and have the bright red exist over here. What you don't wanna do is take bright colors that appear in the front and move them to the back, because then that will give a mixed message to the viewer's brain. Bright colors happen in things that are closest to us. Dull colors happen in things that are further away. Bigger texture marks will happen on places that are closer to us, where smaller texture marks will happen further away from us. So even with the edge here, this tree that lives and grows here is further away than this tree right here. So your texture mark will change as you go from this side over to here as well. So with this phase, just starting to get some of that color change now, in addition to the value, texture, and size of your marks. So that is the explanation for phase 6.